All right, guys. Thanks for joining me tonight. Learn about bullet journals. So tonight we're going to learn about the basics, and we're going to learn about how to keep it simple and how to make it yours. The reason I started doing a bullet journal is because I think it was about a year or so ago. I can't remember. I went into work and my friend Lee asked me if I'd ever heard of a bullet journal, and I was thinking of like bullets out of a gun. I'm like, what in the world are you talking about? And so she said, well, go research it and teach it to me. I'm like, okay, I can do that. So I got on my computer and I researched bullet journals, and I thought, this is awesome. Crystal, did you know about bullet journals before I told you, or did you tell me?
I was just thinking that. I don't know. I think I told you about it. See, I started about a year ago. When did you start?
Probably about a year ago. I think maybe we found out about it at the same time and then started talking about it.
That's probably what happened.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, so then I went back into work and I showed Lee this is what it is, and she just loved it. And so I've been using it and taught a couple other people how to use it, and they just love it. So I just wanted to share how to do a bullet journal, because when I posted about it on my Facebook page, a lot of people had said that it just looks complicated. And when I'm looking for a new way to lay it out, I'll go and Google, Google images to kind of see how other people are doing it. And it is so fancy and so decorated. And I'm like, I have a hard enough time drawing a straight line, or even, to have the time to do that is just hard. So anyway, so I just wanted to teach how to do it and how to do it simple and how to do it how it works for you. So, so you want to get a notebook, of course. This is, and I hope you guys can see this, I just got this one. It's called I don't know how to pronounce it, Lecterm 1917, but you can get it on Amazon, and it has the grids, the dots. I don't know if you can see that, but it makes it so much easier for drawing out the boxes. And I can post pictures of this in the group later if you want, if it's easier to see. But what I started out with was like just little lined notebooks like this. I even have this smaller moleskin one I did. Notebooks like this work really well because I just love having the spiral bound that open better. And then I have always just used a regular pen, and sometimes I get colored pens to kind of color code things and make it different. And also when I got this new one, I got these, I don't know how to say it, but I posted it, all these colored ones, and they are so nice. I really like how they write on the pages, just so smooth. So the very first thing you need is a notebook and a pen, and you can get fancy. There's one of the nice things about this one that I have is it has like an index in it, which is something we'll talk about later, and a pocket to put things in, which is nice. And I know they also have what I think they call like the official bullet journal notebook, and it has a thing. It tells you how to use it inside. It has an index. It has a key, which we'll talk about also, and it just has all that stuff. And I also like that in this one the pages are numbered, which we'll talk about later too. So sorry, I'm kind of all over the place tonight. It's been a crazy day. Okay, so there are a few things to a bullet journal that make it a bullet journal and make it easy to use. So one of the things is called rapid logging. So, and the rapid logging, you have topics, page numbers, short sentences, and bullets. So here, let me screen share for a minute here. Oh, Sid said something. Hold on. Sid, I started with a regular line notebook, and I'm glad I did because I really didn't know what I was doing. It was nice to get out all the bad ideas so I keep my nice one nice. Yes, and I agree with that. And something else that's nice to do is have a practice one. So my bullet journal that I was using before I got this nice one, I'm not done with yet. And so I use it as a practice one. I just go to blank pages and write out the spread I want to try and see if it works before I actually put it into my bullet journal. It's nice, really nice to have that, or even just a regular notebook or something to write it in to try. So, okay, let's screen share. Oh, this one. Okay, let's see if I can get to the right one. Nope, go away. Oh, sorry guys, I am getting used to this. Okay, you are really bugging me now. Come on. Ha, there we go. Okay. Just trying to find pictures to show you guys because it's just such a visual thing. There we go. And if you have comments, you can chat or you can unmute yourself. My computer is slow, guys, sorry. Okay, so one main thing about having a bullet journal is that you have an index at the front so you know what you're going to. So mine has an index at the front that it came with. What you do is you number your pages and you put at the top what it is, and you don't, like if it's a weekly spread or something, like you don't need to put like weekly spread, but if it's like your to be read list or a to-do list or your goals or stuff like that, you can put that. So like you have like planner like stuff in there that you put in there, but then you can put anything in there. You could put, like I said, a to-do list, brain dumping, you can write down memories, you can do habit trackers. And so to find them easier, because there's not really a format to it, you just put things wherever you want them, then you can go back to the index and write on, like my TBR list is on this page, and then you just go to that page and find it. So it makes it easy to find. Let's see. Okay, so this is the rapid logging where you have, if you guys can see this, if you can't see it, please let me know. But so you have a list of things that you want to accomplish, to get done, and you put a dot next to it. I don't do the dots, I do little boxes. This is what mine looks like, if you can see that. I have boxes, and then you can check them off. Check off means that it's done, and an arrow pointing to the right means that you've moved it to another day or another month or another list because you didn't get it done that day. And those are all the ones that I use, or crossing it out because I've finished it. But you can also use an arrow pointing to the left means that it was something you needed to schedule and you scheduled it. A circle right there means that it's a task, not a task. What did they call that? I had to look up all the bullet things because I don't use them all. Yeah, that's a task. So, nope. That's an event. Sorry, guys. So that's an event, and then you can cross it out when it's happened if you want. And then you can do a line to mean that it's just a note that you've taken, like an idea you have or something that happened that day you just want to remember, or just a note about something. And you can use any little bullet symbol things that you want to. And then at the start of your bullet journal, you do a key so that you can write down the little symbols and then what they are if you want. I just use a couple of them, so I don't need a key because I remember them. And then they also have signifiers if you want to use that. So you could put like a Here we go. So if it's something that's a priority, you can put a little star next to it. Or if it's something that's important that you want to come back to, you can put like an exclamation mark to it. If it's something you need to look further into, you can put an I next to it, and you put it on the left-hand side. And then that way, if you go down the left-hand side really fast, you can see, oh, this is something that's important, and just pay attention to that. So that's how like the rapid logging works, that you're using bullet points. So you can just look at the bullet points and know, I'm looking for something that's a priority, or I'm looking for an event today, or an idea that I was looking for, and just look at it instead of having to read through everything. And then you just do short sentences, so it's not a huge long thing that you're doing. So it's rapid logging. Okay, and so then we talked about the index that you put at the front, where you put, this is the name of the collection. They call them collections. So like my TBR list, and this is the page it's on, so you can easily find it. And then they have a future log, and I totally forgot about this because I tried to do the future log at first, and let me show you what, like originally it, so there's an example of the index. Oh, no. Okay. Future log I'm okay with. I just totally forgot about it. So you just write like the months out, because you don't like write out a whole year worth of bullet journals. You do just a little bit at a time. You could do like a day at a time, or a week at a time, or a month at a time if you wanted to. But so then you have like all the months written out, and then you can say this is what's coming up, so that when you go to write out those pages or that month, then you can look back at your future log and remember that's what's going on. Because man, I had a calendar hanging on my wall where it was one of those tear off ones. I couldn't remember what happened over the year, and like as we got into December and I was making appointments for the next year, I'm like, I sure hope I remember this, and I should have written in my bullet journal. But so that's really helpful for that, to know what's going on. Okay, and then this is the monthly log that I do not like. So you do the first column is the day of the month, and then the second column is if it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever. And then go down, and then you put stuff on it. And that did not work for me. So I do it in a month, in a calendar type. I do it like that, and I really like that so much better. So just whatever works for you to do the monthly one. And then there's the weekly spread, and you could do a weekly or a daily, whatever works for you. I love to do a daily or a weekly one, and I just draw boxes of my daily things. And then for me, what I'm trying out right now, because there's so many different ways you can do this spread. So I have the days, and then place to write what's going on, and then I have lunch and dinner, so I can write down lunch and dinner. And then I have things going on this week. I don't know when I'm going to do them, but I want to get them done. Things for next week, my action steps, ideas I have for my business, my habit tracker. And someone asked, was it Crystal or someone else, asked what my favorite way is to track habits. And I did a monthly one. If I can find it, because I thought I tried doing it a month at a time, but I don't like having to go back to this page. Plus, that's just way too many things to do. So I have mine now back with my weekly thing, and I just keep it really small. I find that keeping it small is the best thing for me. And then I have a shopping list so I can remember things I need to buy. That's been really handy. And then things for like next week. Okay. And then another part of the process of keeping a bullet journal is to migrate things. And that's what like the arrow that's pointing to the right is so like at the end of a month, people will like do their new monthly log or whatever, and they can look back at the previous month. Like if you're making it up for writing it up for February, in January you can see what you didn't get accomplished and move it over. And the article I read last night about the lady with ADHD, I loved, because she said that well, maybe it was something else I read. Anyway, but it gives you a chance to see what you're getting done and what you aren't getting done and what's most important. So if you're migrating things over to the next month and those things didn't get done, it gives you an opportunity to see, whether you still need to do that, whether it's important or not for you to do that. It also helps you to become aware of like your habits and patterns of things that you're doing and not getting done. So I think that's really cool. Okay. Does anyone have any questions up to this point? Oh, darn it. Okay.
I was curious like how long did it take you to master this? Because this is what happens to me. I'm like, hey, here's a new thing that I'll try to do. And then I get all this stuff and I do it for like 2 or 3 days or maybe even a week. And then I get so frustrated with the fact that I can't figure it out that I just quit.
Yeah, and I totally relate to that. So when I first started doing this, like Crystal was in town, we got together, we sat down to do our bullet journals. And like I said, I did not like how the monthly one was written out. And I really didn't like what I was seeing most people do. So honestly, I did it super simple. And that's what I recommend, is just doing it super simple. Like get a notebook and you can kind of brainstorm, what do I need this to do for me? And the reason I love this is because planners, I've never found a planner that does everything that I need. And I love just being able to write it all myself. And so if you can see this, I just do like a day at a time, just have one page for a day and then the next page for a day or whatever, and then mark things off. And that's just how I do it. And now that I try different things, and if it doesn't work, I just don't do it. And I kind of look up different ways to do it. But I don't know, I just try to keep it simple. And now that I've done it for so long, I feel like I have a better idea of what I need, especially now that I have this notebook. Like getting a notebook that works for you is good, because this one's way too small. And this one also is too small. And I really liked having this one that's a more normal notebook size. So just knowing what you want it to do and just keeping it simple, like not looking at everyone else's really pretty ones and doing it. Yeah, I don't know, just keeping it simple and then working up once you feel like you've got that. Does that help at all, Sammy? Do you still have?
I just have to prepare my brain, so that does help, because at least I understand like it's going to be trial and error. And it helps me because I can just use the notebook I have rather than going and buying special stuff right away.
Yes. Yeah, and it's good to just have like a practice one to use first instead of getting a nice new one and being like, oh no, I'm going to ruin it. So that's really helpful. But like the biggest thing for me is just doing what works for me and not getting caught up in what everyone else is doing. So
I love it because my ideas are so scattered, and I have like, fortunately I have the Note 8, and so I can pop out this little pen thing and like write myself notes, and it just saves in my phone. But it's not organized in any way.
Well, the nice thing about a bullet journal is that you can just turn the next page and write whatever you need to right there. And then you can go to the index and write, okay, this list is on here, instead of being like, okay, I have to be in this certain spot to do this list or whatever. So it's nice. So, but I did have things when I started this new one that I thought, okay, this is what I absolutely want at the beginning. So I did like a mantra. It says one step at a time, and that's a phoenix. That's my animal for the year because I'm rising from the fire. But so that, and then I did accomplishments in 2017 to remind me of what I accomplished, and then on the other side, goals to remind me of what I want to do. And then my TBR, and this is a big project I'm working on. It's my to-do list, and then like a monthly what I want to do in my business sort of thing. And then, so I have at the very start those things that I know I'm going to want. But I never had that before. Like I said, it's been about a year. So I'm working up to that. So Crystal, Sid says she uses a key that's different than that one. I tried that one and it just didn't work for me. I use boxes and triangles. So yeah, you just got to do what works for you. Sorry guys that you couldn't see the notebooks while I was screen sharing. And then Crystal says there definitely is a trial and error period. It's different for everyone depending on how simple or fancy you want it. So yeah, definitely. Okay, people had more questions and I was going to write them down and I didn't. So let me get there. See what else I wanted to talk about. Okay, so I also wanted to just talk about all the different things you can have in your bullet journal, like pretty much anything. You can have like the future log, the monthly, the weekly, and the daily. You can have a list of ideas. If you have inspiration hit you, you can just turn the page and write down your inspiration. Habit trackers, a spending tracker, a weight loss tracker, a goal tracker, action steps. I love having my action steps. Yes, Sammy.
Do you ever skip days? Like, I don't feel like doing this today and I'm just not going to write anything?
Yes. It's more like I have days where I forget to look at my bullet journal, but I'll like write out the week. So like at the beginning of the week or Sunday or Saturday, I'll write it out and write down what I need to do. And so it's more like I forget to do it. Like the habit tracker, I write it out and forget to do it.
Okay, so yeah, no, that's basically what happens to me. And then I feel like, oh, I missed a day, and like I either have to like make it up, like I write down the stuff I did do, as like it's so ridiculous. But I've tried to journal in different ways. I haven't done the bullet journaling, but I've tried in other ways, and it hasn't been successful. Last year, I had a total of 5 planners I didn't ever use. Anyways, so my next question would be, I'm not a visual person, so like just like imagining it in my head is really hard. So I might ask something that you already said, but it's just me trying to understand.
No, you're fine.
So one of the things that I do really well every week is I plan all of our dinners for the week, and I just do that on like scratch paper. But would I like write the whole week on a spread of dinners? Or would I like every day when I make my bullet journal, would I just put what's for dinner on that day?
Yes. You do whatever works for you. Like I've done where I've written.
Can I comment on that?
Yeah, go ahead, Sid.
I was just going to say, I don't even use daily because all of my days are lined out in my weekly spread. So like my weekly has a box for each day. And then on my weekly, I also have a box where I just list the dinner ideas I have for the week. And that way I can do them in whatever order, or if I have to be flexible, but they're there in the weekly spread instead of on this day, we're definitely having this.
I like it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I like that a lot because I switch things around a lot. And what happens is I do write them on scratch paper, and then I have a thing on my fridge. So like they'll end up there anyway, and it's white erase, so I just move stuff. But that's something that has made our family life much easier. So I want to make sure that that's included in whatever I do.
Yeah, you can totally do that. And I like Sid doesn't have a daily. I like to have a weekly, and then I can have it all there. And I've had it where I have a box that has the weekly, or I have in mine right now, I have a dinner area at the bottom of every day. So just really whatever works for you. And there's some people that have like a master grocery shopping list that Crystal says she does meal planning weekly. And Crystal might have a master shopping list in their thing where they just write down all the things they normally buy when they go shopping and keep it in their bullet journal. I don't know if that'd be helpful for you. Yeah, Crystal does have one of those. Of course, Crystal has one of those. So really whatever.
It would, because again, with random scraps of paper, I will lose my list. I will, so if it's like part of the notebook, that actually would work pretty well because I can just cross stuff off.
Yep.
And like that page is done.
Yep.
I was gonna say too for Sammy, if like it's a lot to have, like you were saying, what if I forget to write out that week or month or day or whatever? I started using kind of like a hybrid. So I use a planner that already has the weeks and the months done, like drawn out or whatever for me. And then on the back of it, it has Like I can add to my planner. So in the back, I'm doing all the bullet journal stuff, but at least the months and weeks are done for me. And then I go in and write, whatever, my calendar items. But then like to have all my lists together or tracking things, I have it in the back of that planner.
Oh, clever.
Yeah, so I thought that was a good medium for me because I started as well, and then months later I just forget to write, or I don't want to, I don't feel like it, and so it was a good, just like I said, a hybrid for me.
I was going to share about the grocery list. Lee had a really awesome idea. She has a page for her grocery list, but on that page it has a square where she just puts a Post-it note. Mm-hmm. So the page stays the same, but then she can pull out the Post-it note, replace it for a new week or whatever. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, thanks, Sid.
That is cool.
Well, and you can do, I was going to say that too, that you can really do a Post-it note on any page for anything. So, which I think is cool and really handy. So, okay, so like the other kind of things you can have is like a cycle tracker. Talicia's been talking about keeping track of your monthly cycle. People will do like their daily spread or whatever has like what the weather's like. That's just too much for me to do. And you could write like things that happened, memories, so you can look back on the day and be like, oh, that's what happened that day, and it was snowing and this and that or whatever. Just lists, to-do stuff, goals, gratitude stuff. You can just journal anything, ideas for your business you're doing. And then Sid asked a good way to keep track of goals, like bigger ones but also little ones. And the thing I really like the best is following the one thing where you could put like, this is my big goal, and then write out the little steps you need to get there. And you could habit track it. There's some people do really cute designs. Like I saw one today that was a circle, where it's a circle and it has lines in it, and then on this one bigger space you write what it is you're tracking and then fill in the squares around the circle. I just lost my train of thought, sorry. Does that help, Sid? What other questions do you have with that?
I was going to say for that, I have a page where I have my main goal written, and then on my daily, or your weekly even, because you have all your days, I write my action step every day for that day. And so that way you have your big goal, but then you have the little things you're doing every day for that goal. Maybe that will help.
Yeah. And I haven't done this yet, but I want to have a page where I put like, this is my big goal right now, and for this month, this is what I'm going to do. And then at the beginning of each month, I used to have this in my other, in one of my older bullet journals, but I put my goal for that week and then do my action steps. So I need to start doing that again. So yeah, thanks, Crystal. That's a good idea. Sid? Are you there? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. There's a lag, I think.
Yeah, I think there is. So did that answer your question? Do you have more questions, Sid?
I think that covers it. I think like you said, I think I want to have it on a page where it's like, here's the big goal and here it is broken down. And then maybe I can translate that into my weekly spreads. But just to have it all at a glance, I think would be a good.
Yeah, the more I can have my stuff all on one page, the stuff that I use often, the better for me. Okay, I'm just looking up the other questions people asked. If you guys have anything you want to ask or say, you can go ahead. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Okay, how to track goals. Trackers. Crystal, did that you're the one that asked about what trackers I found most beneficial for me, and mine really is just the ones that are simple and small and right there on my weekly thing so I can see it, so I know. Because like doing a whole monthly thing on another page, I just forget about it and I don't even pay attention. So does that help, Crystal? So really,
but what kind do you do? Like what kind? What things do you track? Like what are some good things?
okay.
I mean, I know you said the cycle, earlier. I'm sure that's person to person what you want to track.
It is. So I had this huge one of like everything I wanted to do. I showed it to you already, but it was like a whole half a page full of things I wanted to do every day. And I was talking to Jasmine, having a meeting with Jasmine, and she said, that's way too much. So now I just went back to my small one, and I have, I just did the things that I think are most important to me every day. So I just track, like I have in here vision board, declarations, listening to my story, meditating, doing personal development, working out, and writing down my successes and my gratitudes every day. So just stuff like that. It's really, for me, I just use it as like my AM PM schedule, keeping track of that sort of thing.
Okay, that makes sense. Thanks.
Yep. So really, just whatever works for you. But I just do what's essential, because if you go on to like all this other stuff, it's just going to be overwhelming, and then you'll look at it and have all these empty spaces, or I forget.
That's what I was having problems with. Like I do these trackers, and I'm not going to sit at the end of the day, and mark this stuff off like they were just sitting there. But when I did do AM PM schedule, I did track that. That's about the only thing. And then like my Book of Mormon reading chart.
Yeah. Another way that I've tracked before is I had like a 30-day goal of dry brushing. And I just wrote down dry brushing, and I wrote down 1 to 30 and then marked it off as I did it. And I really like that, because then I could tell like what day I was on and how many days I had left. And so that's another way you can.
Let me see. Show that to me again so I can take a screenshot. I like that.
And if you need, I can send you a picture.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. And then I wanted to show you guys. Let's make sure. Oh, okay. And Stephanie isn't here, unless she is. Let's see who's on. Okay, Stephanie isn't here, but she asked, like to know how to keep a running list of the small things she forgets, like taking her son to scouts, paying a bill, returning something, things to buy or research, etc. So it's pretty much kind of stuff we've already talked about. Just keeping it in your monthly spread. Like if you have these recurring things you forget about, you could have a list that you write down of like weekly recurring list. And then when you write out your week, you can go back and look at it and then write it into your week. If you have or your month for like a recurring bill. And then like the things to buy, I just keep a shopping list, a small shopping list box on my weekly layout, and then just like writing in your monthly thing, this is when I need to pay this bill, or this is when I need to return this. And then so it's pretty much just keeping the monthly, the future log, the monthly log, where when you write out your weekly, you can go back and see what that is. So hopefully that helps.
Can I comment on that one?
Yes, go ahead.
On my weekly spread, since I love the weekly so much, that's like my go-to.
That's my.
I have a box that says upcoming, and then that's where I'll write things that are, next week or in the next month. And then when I've moved them into the next week on the next spread, then I'll mark it off.
Yeah.
But until then, I leave it on that upcoming box.
Yep. Thank you, Sid. Okay, I'm trying to find something I wanted to show you. Okay, so another thing that's helpful is a timeline sort of thing. And I've had Crystal do this a couple times. I don't know if she's done it this way, but where you write it like this. I don't know how well you can see that, but I've wrote like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've just written the times across the page. And And then you can write down like your ideal schedule, which I have a screen share thing I can show you on that real fast, because I think it is pretty cool. Desktop. So that's like an ideal schedule that you write down that you just have. It's just one of those one pages you have that you don't keep copying every week. And you just write down the times of day. Like I started at 6 because I wake up at 6, and then I ended at like, oh, I guess I do all of them, and then I just do when I'm sleeping. And then you can kind of just do out to the side what you want to do at those times. And then I started doing, I don't do this anymore, but I started doing at the top of mine where I have it across, and then I color in when I'm doing something, and I kind of like write out at the top or whatever what that thing is I'm doing. And then I know when I have free time that day so that I know what to do, which I don't know why I don't do that anymore, but it's super handy. So is that you, Crystal Allred, that joined us? Okay, well, you can chat or say hi or something, or not. Okay, do you guys?
Yes, it's me. Sorry, my kids are kind of a mess. I'm here listening. I'm here.
No, you're fine. Everyone else's kids are a mess too. I'm just glad you joined us. Okay, does anyone else have any questions about the type of things you can put in, or how you can lay it out, or anything like that?
I just wanted to know if people that have them would post pictures of them so we can look.
Okay. Yeah, I will post that in the group and ask people to do that. I don't know if you're friends with Chris. What's her last name? But she asked today too, for people to do that. So yeah, I'll take pictures of mine. I just ran out of time to do that. And I know Sid has some awesome pages if she doesn't mind sharing, and Lee does too if she watches and wants to share them. One of the things I really like to do is get on and look at other people's on Pinterest, or I'm going to post excuse me, blogs that I like, and Sid gave me some ideas of ones that she likes too. So you guys can go and look. I just go onto Google and I type like weekly spread, and then I look at all the images, and it comes up with so many images. And there's YouTube videos that are dedicated to like showing you how to do bullet journal stuff, and they have like, I think it's called Plan With Me, and you can watch that. So yeah. What was I going to say? So yeah, I'll post a whole bunch of resources for you on there, Sammy, to do. And then you can ask questions whenever you want. And there's other people in the group that do it, so they can answer too. So, and it's helpful. I don't know if I said this, but it's helpful to plan a day of the week where you're going to sit down and write out what's going on for the week if you want. Or like, I have to know what's coming up, or you can just take it a day at a time, if that's what works for you. So, Crystal Allred, do you have any questions? Or anyone else? Oh, Sid. Oh, Sid says on Instagram you can check hashtags Bujo, B-U-J-O, or bullet journal, as well as types of spreads, like weekly spread. Yes, Crystal, I did record, and I will post that as soon as it uploads and does all the stuff it does. So, okay. And I just wanted to tell you guys some of the benefits. It helps you keep organized. It helps you get all the stuff out of your head onto a piece of paper instead of thinking, I have to remember everything, because that just doesn't work anymore, especially once you have kids or have a business or whatever. It gives you a clear picture of what's going on. It helps you to be mindful about what you're doing with your time, what you need to do with your day. You can make it your own. It's a good creative outlet if you're creative. I just love that you can put anything on any page anywhere, and then write it down in the index so that you know where to find it. There's research showing that when you write things down, you remember things better, which I think is awesome. And For me, it means less screen time and less distractions, because I get on my phone or my computer to do something, and then like 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh yeah, I got on to do this, and I didn't do it. So anyway, so the main things I want you to take away is kind of decide what you need it to do for you. Don't do what everyone else is doing. Do what you need to do for you. Keep it simple. You can always branch out and do more later. There's plenty of resources online, and I will post several of those. So, and then that's all I have. Does anyone have any questions? And you can always ask more questions later. Okay, no one's saying anything. Okay, so thank you guys for joining. I will post the recording later so you can watch it, Crystal Allred. And I will talk to you later. Have a good night, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks for being on, Crystal.
Yep.